It's afternoon. Good afternoon. Oh, I can't ever come to the table ready. Where are my glasses? I'll be right back. My reading glasses sit at my computer desk. And I was working. They sit at my computer desk because usually that's the only time I wear them is when I'm on the computer. I don't actually need reading glasses to read everything. They're my computer glasses. And they help me to read these little tiny print from the comments. Good morning, Chelsea Macadocious. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So I'm back on this Restream feed again. So if everybody can come to me from Facebook, but if anybody comes from YouTube, I want to see if the comments come through. When I do the Restream, I'm live streaming to the Facebook group, Tea Time with Kai Live Talks, and I'm also live streaming to the page, Tea Time with Kai page. So there's somebody on here that says Facebook user. You know how it works. When it says Facebook user, I have no idea who you are. So put your initials at the end. So I'm assuming that might be Steve. Steve, if that's you, could you put an SD at the end of your comments so I know it's you? But it might be Suli. It might be Suli. And I can't check on my phone right. Good morning, Bernadette. Happy Saturday. I dropped my car off at the shop this morning, guys. I'm doing my adulting today. So I took my car to the shop for a tune-up and an oil change. Oh, I need to make sure they did the oil change. Took it for a tune-up and an oil change. And I'm getting it ready for the road trip that I'm going to take at the end of the month. It was time for a tune-up anyway, but I wanted to make sure that I got that tune-up a couple of weeks before my road trip so I can just drive it around a little bit and make sure that it's good morning. Oh, hey, Jana. Good morning, Jana. Good morning, Robin. So I wanted to make sure that I was driving the car around a little bit after the tune-up to make sure that if there were any little hiccups that needed to be addressed before I got on the road, that we can address them. So I'm very happy my car is ready. So after tea time, I'm going to go get my car. I'm not going to walk back. It was about a mile and a half walk from the car shop. And I walked home. And then I added about a half mile to my walk. Why not get 2 miles in? Of course, I walked in and then my back was hurting. I had to take some drugs for my back. But anyway, I chatted with a person I know. We won't say friend yet. You gotta spend a little time before I can call you a friend. A potential friend. I chatted with a potential friend. On my way home. So it was a good walk, a good talk. How are you guys doing this morning? And I was trying to decide what to talk about. So this person suggested, what about talk about divorce? I'm like, I don't want to talk about divorce. No, we support love. We support Black love at this table. We support love and relationships. We have couples at our table. We're talking about love, not the falling apart of love. But divorce is a part of many people's lives. And if we separate it from divorce and make it about breakups, all right, I don't want that D word. I don't want to put that out on the table. We're not trying anybody at this table that's married. We don't support you getting divorced. We don't. We don't support you getting divorced at all, Tobiah. Let me clarify. I know, Tobiah, you're not about to get divorced. So I didn't throw your name out there because divorce is even on the table. I threw your name out because I know you're one of our married folks at the table. Tobiah, Stace. Who else is at the table that's married today? Anyway, we don't support divorce. We support love. We support love and continued love and relationship. And Jana, you're not married, but you're in a love relationship. Chelsea, we support you guys. For real, we want to be like you. For real. Those of us not married and not in love relationships, we want to be like y'all, okay? Anyway, so I was looking at first I was like, all right, let's talk about love. Let's talk about that. Right, Tobiah, I've been there. I've done that. I don't want to be there again. But then I started, there's the prophet. I mean, I said on the prophet, but Khalil Gibran. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but that's what we're going to call him, Khalil Gibran. You guys have heard about him. I know you're not married, Robin. I'm not married either, but it's going to happen one day. Maybe not. Maybe not. Not for you, for me. Maybe not, right? And if it doesn't happen, maybe I'm going to be absolutely okay with that. I'm going to be absolutely happy with that. I have fallen in love with myself in the last 5 months. Do I need somebody else to love me? I mean, it's nice. It's nice to have someone else love me, but if you don't, okay. My kids love me. And I love myself. And my friends love me. So there we go. That's all I need. So I started thinking about it was suggested that I'm trying to be careful how I say this. So I asked this person, this potential friend of mine, what he had learned from his divorce. And he said, well, the first lesson that he learned was to love the one who loves you. So I was like, that's a good thought to talk about the table. Love the one who loves you. And it's not even just about relationship love. It's just period. We talked about it at the table yesterday about having people, good morning, Erica, having people in your life who want to be there, right? That's one of the hardest truths. If someone doesn't want to be there, you cannot pressure them into being there. And no matter how long, as long as you keep the pressure on, they may stay. But the moment you take the pressure off is the moment you find out where they really want to be, right? Never give up. Tobias says never give up on love. It happens when you're not looking for it. Yeah, Tobias, I'm not giving up on love, but I'm not thirsty for love. I feel loved. I love myself and I love everybody at this table, and this table loves me, and I feel fulfilled. If love happens, it happens. So I started thinking about, love the person who loves you. And if you dig into that, you realize, duh. If Steve loves me, and I appreciate Steve's love of me, then I begin to love Steve. Or maybe I already loved Steve, and now I can share that with Steve, that I love Steve. And then Steve knows Kai loves me, so I'm going to love Kai. When you think about, and when I first heard it, I'm like, I should love the person who loves me. But that person should also love the person who loves them, right? And if we're each loving the person that loves us, aren't we equally loving each other? If I'm loving the person who loves me, then we are in this relationship equally loving each other. And then honestly, this pretty deep concept became like, well, duh. That's not even deep. That seems like common sense to me. It seems absolutely like common sense to me. And yet, there are times that we can't find it in ourselves to reciprocate the love that is being given to us, to reciprocate the friendship that is being given to us. It's not just about romantic love. Right now, yes, we should romantically love the person who loves us. Unless that person is also abusive, then that's not love. So let's make sure that we understand what love is, right? So we're not saying love the person who says I love you. Nah, man, no. Saying I love you is nothing. Unless you're a person whose love language is words of affirmation. And then in that case, maybe that might work for you. However, That person who is saying it needs to be living it, not just saying it. Living it. If you tell me you love me, then everything about you should represent that you love me. You shouldn't tell me you love me and then leave me stranded at the car shop with no ride home, but you love me. You shouldn't tell me you love me, but you can't fix my meal for me because, well, that's a woman's job and I'm a man, and so therefore I can't make dinner for you. But you love me. Again, my love language is acts of service. Do something for me, damn it, and give me some gifts. Tell me, look, right? My love language is all of the above. Do something for me, give me some gifts, tell me you love me. What's the other one? Touch me lovingly. There's a fifth one. What's the fifth one, guys? Can't remember what it is, but you got to be on. If you loving Kai, that's a lot of work. And the thing about it is, if someone's putting in that work, why don't you put the work in towards that person? Take your time, figure it out, figure out how to love somebody, figure out how to love somebody. So in thinking about discussing love, that would make for a short relationship. Wait, which would make for a short relationship? Wait. Oh, saying it but not living it, not meaning it. I think that's what you mean. Yeah, very short relationship, right? Look, love, you love me, but you don't show me you love me. You just say you love me. There goes that love language issue again. Look, man, this love language thing is important. You have to know how to love somebody. If you want them to understand they love you, that you love them, you have to know how to. You have to know how they receive love. You can't go speaking French to them if all they speak is Spanish. Everything you say will be missed. Don't come with the Swahili and all I speak is English. I don't know what you're talking about. So I was wanting to read one of my favorite poems by Khalil Gibran as a part of today's talk. I wanted to read it, but I couldn't find it. And then this other quote came up, which talks about love and marriage. And I thought, this would be perfect then. Let's say this. Let's read this one. So I'm going to read this to you. Close your eyes, reflect, think about what this is saying. Think about how it touches you. Right, Tobiah, love is an action. Love is an action. Love is, when you say love the person who loves you, not love the person who says I love you. Love the person who embodies love of you, love for you. Love that person. The person who says I love you, but doesn't embody love for you, doesn't shine love for you, doesn't exhibit it, doesn't take care of the actions, the loving, the words of affirmation, the support. That's not love. Those are words, empty words, empty words. We're not taking empty. All right, so this is what Khalil Gibran says, and if I'm mispronouncing his name, that happens. Let there be spaces in your togetherness, and let the winds of the heavens dance between you. Love one another, but make not a bond of love. Let it rather be a moving sea between the shores of your souls. Fill each other's cup, but drink not from one cup. Give one another your bread, but eat not from the same loaf. Sing and dance together and be joyous, but let each one of you be alone, even as the strings of a lute are alone, though they quiver with the same music. Give your hearts, but not into each other's keeping, for only the hand of life can contain your hearts. And stand together, yet not too near together, for the pillars of the temple stand apart, and the oak tree and the cypress grow not in each other's shadow. This man, This man, those words, that really, you know, I wasn't trying to find that passage. I wasn't trying to find that quote. I was trying to find something else. But too often we get into a relationship and we try to become the other person's perfect. And we try to do everything that other person does. We like what that other person likes. We go where that other person goes. We lose ourselves in our relationships. We come out of those relationships because those relationships where we lose ourselves tend not to last. But we're so busy trying to connect to somebody that we take on everything that is them. And that's usually one-sided because it's not usually both people taking on everything that is them. We lose ourselves. And then when that relationship is over, we've got to go find, because that relationship was not strong. It wasn't strong because the two pillars were too close to each other and could not hold up the roof. It could not hold up the structure. Place the pillars apart so that the structure can withstand whatever comes its way. But if those pillars are too close, then it sways, it falls, the roof falls over, the whole building caves in. Yes, Robin, that quote found me. It absolutely found me. And it's so powerful when you think about it. When you think about the fact that if you build a building with one pillar in the middle, or even two pillars side by side in the middle, that building will crumble. But if you space those pillars apart so that each can bear equal weight, that building will be a stronger building. So as you are working through your relationships, you don't need to become your mate. You don't need to love everything your mate loves. You don't need to do that. This is my opinion. And obviously his. You don't need to love everything your mate loves. Now, you might sometimes want to go do things that your mate wants to do because you're trying to share time with your mate, support your mate. Yeah, sure. I've lost myself. When I got married, my husband's family they were Jehovah's Witness. I was raised Catholic my whole entire life. My whole family's Catholic. And my husband's family was Jehovah's Witness. And I took it for granted that, religion doesn't, so what? I mean, I'm a good person, you're a good person. And he wasn't a practicing Jehovah's Witness. I didn't even understand about Jehovah's Witness at the time. I mean, I was young. Basically, you just go knocking on people's doors. The Jehovah's Witnesses were people I just didn't open the door for. I didn't know anything about their religion. And I got married and I was trying to connect to my husband. So I started going to the Kingdom Hall. Like, oh, well, this is what he does. So let me connect to him. And I lost Kai by trying to make for a better relationship, by trying to become one with my husband. And I wish I had had this quote at that time because I don't need to become one with anybody. I need to stay Kai. What attracted you to me is Kai. What attracted you to me is this personality, this level of crazy, this level of raw, this level of honesty, this level of in your face, this level of accountability. That's what attracted you to me. And then all of a sudden I'm with you and now I become you. I don't even like you like that. I'm supposed to love you. I love me, and yet I let go of me. Yeah, you can have a deep appreciation for what your mate does, but you don't have to become your mate. You don't have to only like what your mate likes. It's like when the movie Coming to America, and Eddie Murphy, whatever his name of his character was, and he was asking, well, what do you like to do? Whatever you like to do. Well, what would you like to eat? Whatever you would like to eat. Like, what kind of joy is there in that? You can't lose yourself. If you want to have a strong relationship, a strong bond, don't let the relationship be something that binds you. The person who belongs to you, with you, is the person who appreciates you for you. The person who comes in like, oh my God, Kai is crazy, but that's my crazy Kai. She off the chain, out of her mind half the damn time. But she brings truth and honesty and blah, blah, blah to the table, right? I got to see who these Facebook users are. You know, if you're on Facebook watching me, I can't see your name. We're back to that, right? I'm on the Restream software and I can't see your name. So now I've got to make sure I know who's on Facebook. Bernadette, I see Bernadette Tobiah. Well, who is that? Let me see who else. Sorry. Somebody else is. You know, it's so interesting when I go to, no one should ever lose themselves trying to love someone. Yeah, but how many of us can say that we haven't done that? How many of us can say that we solidly stay who we are, keep our own selves 100% when we get into a relationship? Hey, Charmin Turnage. I think at some point, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think at some point we have all lost ourselves in our relationships. Those tend to be the relationships that did not last, though. I mean, I'm not saying that we lost ourselves and we're still in those relationships where we are not there, right? Where the true Kai is not there. No, because eventually you can't live as someone else that you are not. And eventually your partner finds out that the person they thought you were is not who you actually are. And maybe they don't even like the person you actually are. So you've just wasted all of your time trying to be somebody that you don't even like and that you can't be and you can't sustain. I'm sure, Tobiah, that the times that the relationships didn't work for you were the times where you may have lost yourself some. But with your wonderful, gorgeous wife now, you're able to be Tobiah. And there's strength in just being Tobiah. There's strength in the two of you understanding that we are together, but we also need to sometimes be alone. I don't have to be under you all day long. There are those women who think they have to be under their man 100% of the time. And there are those men who think that if their woman is not under them 100% of the time, then they don't love them, or they're worried that their woman will go out and find somebody else. If that's your worry, let that woman go. If that's your worry, let that man go. If you have to sit there and worry about who your mate is talking to, who your mate is having lunch with, who your mate is on the phone with, who your mate talks to at work, if you have to worry about that, that's somebody you don't need to have as a mate. And then you need to be happy being with yourself, not giving up on love, but giving up on foolishness. That's how I feel. I give up on foolishness. I'm sorry, I'm reading this thing that says my talk is on plant-based food, but I thought I updated the titles. Anyway, let's not pay attention to me at this particular second. I was tripping. So how are you guys? You know what, this comes, oh, that does say plant-based food journey. Wow, okay, well, we're not talking about plant. Steve and T, good morning, T. Okay, you know I can't see you guys. If you guys, what's interesting to me is the people who are joining me from the Facebook group, I don't see your names. I see your names if you join me from the Facebook page, but not from the group. Isn't that very interesting? I would think it would be the opposite. Now I understand. Good morning, T. I'm glad you're at the table this morning. Jana, I'm glad you're at the table this morning. Charmin, glad you're at the table. So how have you guys been? I want this to be a sharing time, people. Never give so much of yourself that you have nothing left for yourself. Tobiah, but isn't that where we are sometimes? Is that the lesson that we learn from the failed relationships? How many times have you come out of a relationship and thought, wow, what the hell? Wow. And then when you look back, so there's this meme going around saying something about it's hard to look back on my past chapters and not cry or not stress or whatever it is. I don't remember. But how many times have you looked back on a past chapter and been like, who the hell? You can't even believe. You can't even believe that you were a participant in that play, that chapter had anything to do with you. There's so many times I look back like, oh my God. Oh my God. How could I? Kai, you're better than that. Kai, you know better than that. You are better than that. That's a quote from your grandmother. You are better than that. And how many times do you have to tell yourself, you have to keep reminding yourself, I'm better than that. I'm better than that. But you know what? This time that we've spent getting in touch with ourselves, and I hope you've done the work while we've been coming to this tea time table. I'm hoping that you continue to do the work. I have really done the work coming to this table, having to share with you. I don't mean having to as if it's been a pain. I mean having to, like, I come to the table, and in order to help drive in some of these thoughts, I give you my personal experiences. And giving you these personal experiences, I get off of the feed and I think about it. And every single talk that I give, when it's over, I tune into my own talk to hear what I had to say so that I can be on the receiving end. So I'm on the giving end right now, right? But I do need to be on the receiving end. I need to hear what that chick is saying. That chick, that's a bright chick right there. I need to hear her. I need to hear Kai. I need Kai to tell me how to act right sometimes. So I sometimes will, instead of putting on This American Life, instead of putting on a podcast, nighttime story, I will go to bed listening to myself, basically talking to myself and talking to you, because I'm reading your comments, I'm responding to your comments. So I'm listening to the exchange that we have at this table as I relax to go to bed. Putting my mind at ease, making sure to remind myself, Kai, love yourself first. Love yourself first, and everything else will fall in line. Don't love someone else so much that you forget who you are. You forget what you need. You forget how to be Charmin or T or Stace or Steve or Tobiah or Robin or Jana or Chelsea. Good morning, Janice Gonzalez. How you going to show up 30 minutes late? Thank you for coming. You can't love yourself, love someone else so much that you're forgetting to love yourself. And then when you do, because sometimes we do, no matter at the table that I'm saying this right now, no, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. We will all do it at some point. We have to remember to check ourselves. Check yourself. Hold on. Let me go back to my boundaries. How are my boundaries not intact? How is it that I'm allowing this person to have this power over me? I need to take my own power back. And first and foremost, talking about divorce, right? Talking about failed relationships, I need to own the part that I played. Is it the other person's fault for taking advantage of me? Are they wrong? Or is it my fault for giving that other person the advantage? Am I wrong? I can't walk around blaming everybody else for how they hurt me. I allowed that hurt. Now, I'm not talking about the abusive boyfriend. I've never had one, but just in case. I'm not talking about, oh, hold on. I said I haven't had a physically abusive, but I will have to attest to some emotional abuse. When you realize that's what it is, it makes it much easier to walk away. Like, this is crazy. You are messing with me, and I will not allow that anymore. It's my fault. It's my boundaries that were not shored up. If I let you in to take advantage of me, I might not appreciate that you took advantage. I might wish that you were a better person than that. But I also need to own some of that responsibility. Why did you let your boundaries down? Why did you gray your boundaries? You know where you stand. So why did you shift? Was it insecurity? Were you being thirsty? Sometimes, no, look, we have all been thirsty at some point. Let's not pretend. We've all been like, you know what, I just want a hug. I've done that. I just want a hug. I'm not the physical touch person. Not that I don't like physical touch, but my love language is everything, right? But there are times that all I want is just a hug. And in those times, I might just take it from anybody. Like, look, I don't care. As long as you can hug me right, I'm going to take a hug. And I'm not using the word hug to represent sex or anything like that. I'm using the word hug to represent hug, just so we're clear. I don't run around just sleeping with folks because I just want some sex. No, we ain't that. That ain't Kai. That's not Kai. Just saying. Sometimes the emotional scars are the worst. I think, Tabaya, that most times the emotional scars are the worst. And the physical scars that also create emotional scars, that's double bad, right? Because generally, if somebody is hitting you physically, they're also abusing you emotionally, and the two together are just treacherous. I've just been fortunate not to be one that has had to deal with the physical. Fortunate. I mean, I know there's lots of us out there who have had to deal with physically abusive partners. Not necessarily anybody on this feed, I don't know, but just in case. So I think I'm confident. I know I'm confident. After having taken all this time to dig into myself and to become 100% at peace with myself, I'm confident that the next relationship I go into isn't going to be a relationship where Kai loses Kai. As a matter of fact, if I meet you right now, virtually, this is what you get. This is the Kai you're going to meet. This is the Kai that you're going to see. I'm not doing my hair. I'm not putting on any makeup. I'm not wearing some fancy outfit. I'm not doing that. Why? Because I'm sitting in my house comfortable. And if you're going to meet me, you're going to meet me where I'm comfortable, which is right here, just like this. I might shower, but you can't smell me anyway, so I'm going to shower. I'm just throwing that out there, messing with Steve. Let's not put on a show for people. Let's not show people what we think they want to see. Let's show them what they need to see so they can make an informed decision. Look at me like, dang, that girl ain't combed their hair. They ain't combed their hair in, I was going to say a month of Sundays, but really it's been like 5 months of Sundays. I don't comb my hair, God. This is what I do. That's it. Done. Why do you think I wear my hair bald all the time? Because, okay. All right. Perfect. No more work. And it's so funny to go from like really long hair. My hair used to be really long. To go from long hair and doing my hair. But I didn't do much to it then either. I was not slaying my hair. It was ponytail most of the time. But I think this is a good time for us to continue to dig into ourselves and make sure that we are showing love the way we need to show love, and that we are not losing ourselves in love. And I think that's more important. So we've already talked about how to show love, how to love ourselves. We've done all this work with self-love, self-love, self-love. Steve, you so stupid. You ain't loved a woman till you love a stank woman. Well, there we go. I'm about to get mad love then. Not today. I don't stink today. Maybe I need to funk myself up so I can get some real love. That's a shame. Yeah, I don't know if I believe that though, Steve, because don't come to me all funky. Yeah, I'm uppity. Don't come to me funky and in your messed up outfit. Don't come. I had this one time where I met this guy. I met this guy and we went out for our first date. And I met him at Aroma Cafe. First that was my first date spot in Marin County. My first date spot was always Aroma Cafe. They probably thought I was a hoe walking in there. Always a different guy because not too many people got past the first date. Okay. So one day it'll be this person, next day this person, next day this person. And it wasn't about I need them to buy me food. I didn't even have them buy me anything. I'll come in, buy my own dang tea. Let's sit down and have a conversation. And most of the time we didn't get past the first date. But this guy, I met him online and he comes to meet me. And I was fly as hell. Okay? Don't be mistaken. I was fly as hell. And I didn't even have to try hard. Just a tiny bit of effort. And I was fly as hell. This was back in my modeling days. I looked good just walking out the door. Okay? Had my funky fly jeans on. Had my boots. Oh, don't put the boots on, right? I had my boots on. Had my little tank top or whatever top I had on. Belly flat. Legs. Look, I was fly. And I was just going to have coffee. This was my casual. I was casually fly. Don't want to overdo it. It's just the first date. I know I already am 10 times above this guy anyway. Don't want to overdo it. Man, that guy showed up. He had on tennis shoes, raggedy jeans, and a work jacket. A work jacket, people. It'd be like him walking in with his FedEx. I don't remember what it was, but it was like FedEx. So it's not even a stylish work jacket. Like if you're going to wear your work jacket, your ass better be a doctor. You better be wearing your doctor smock, okay? Maybe you better be a chef. Wear your chef smock. Don't come to a first date in the freaking FedEx jacket. Nah, man. That's not going to work. And that Negro sat there. And just watching him walk in the door, I was like, yeah, this ain't going to, I don't even know if I'm going to last through the first date. I don't even know if I was going to last through the first date. He sat there and he ate with me. So aside from the fact that he looked a mess and I'm looking super fly and fabulous, casually, I mean, like no effort, still looking super fly and fabulous. You just had to put on some regular jeans, right? Regular jeans and a regular shirt and take off the tennis shoes, put on some casual shoes, and don't wear your FedEx jacket. It might not have been FedEx, but whatever it is, don't wear your FedEx jacket or whatever. Don't wear that to a first date. Man, put it together. Don't overdo it, but put it together. Man, Charmin, he could have told me he had a job just by saying, hey, I work. Don't come looking a hot mess. But then he sat there and ate, which, first of all, I was looking at him. Now, this is a guy who, when I met online, he's saying how he didn't want to date a single mom. And I'm like, I got kids. I have kids. I am a single mother. You don't want to date single mothers, so we don't ever need to go out. He's like, no. But now he sees me and he's maybe like, okay, well, maybe I'll still go out, be able to go out. So we go out and I decided to give him a chance. And I saw his pictures and his pictures were terrible. But I was like, everybody takes terrible pictures. I was a model and I took terrible pictures. I hated taking pictures. And I always looked horrible in my pictures, right? So, maybe people just take terrible pictures. So he didn't take a terrible picture. That's really what he looked like. He had a peanut-shaped head. Like his mother did not shape his head right when he was born. Really, like it did not. His head was not shaped appropriately. His head looked like the doctors pulled him out with the forceps and then mama didn't massage and shape the head. We shape our babies' heads when they're born. I don't know if all cultures do it, but every Black person I know shapes the baby's head. We massage it to make sure to get all the lumps out, make sure it's a properly rounded head, right? Raggedy tennis shoes, Tony, raggedy tennis shoes. It would have been okay if they were nice tennis shoes. No, these are the kind that you have for 5, 10 years, and you should really not wear anywhere except for to the yard when you're cleaning up. So he had the peanut head, the forceps head, and then when it got time to eat, he ordered a sandwich, and he had his sandwich, and this is how he picked up his sandwich. And he was like, he was eating his sandwich like a kid. He was eating out the middle part of the sandwich, and leaving the sides going up around his mouth. So his sandwich started doing this, and he was taking his sandwich and going this, ripping his sandwich apart like a animal. So I did this. So he was sitting here, and this is how we sat through the whole date. And he would say, "Oh, you're gonna," and I would turn for a second and look at him, and then I would go back and I'm like, I just like to people watch. But I couldn't look at the man because he was so damn funny looking. I couldn't look at him. So let's say that man loved me. Am I supposed to love him back? I can't even look at him. We're on a date. I couldn't even maintain eye contact with him because he was so damn funny looking. And he's eating his sandwich like a savage. You can't love everybody who loves you. Doesn't matter. You cannot love everybody who loves you. Whew, yes. And Steve, let me go back to your other comment. You said you're uppity, but you stink with uncombed hair. Exactly. Balance, Steve. Balancing, and I don't stink right now, man. Don't be putting that out there in these streets. I'm not stinking right now. I am sometimes stank, and sometimes uppity, and sometimes, no, I'm never ratchet. I would say never ratchet, ever. I got standards, and I'm not saying I always meet my own standards, but I do have standards. I am the perfect kind of chick. I can get down in the dirt and wrestle and play football and all of that stuff, and then I can go take my shower, wash up, put my makeup on, and be in my ball gown. Yes, Steve, uppity. Don't show up at no first date with me looking a hot mess, eating your sandwich like a savage kid. Not even just a savage, but a savage kid. Can you really love everybody who loves you? Can you? He had a lack of home training and a lack of so much stuff. Don't smack your food. Don't eat like a savage. Don't show up don't show up looking like you're about to go work in the yard when you're going to a restaurant. Don't show up to work in the yard looking like you're about to go to a restaurant. You're coming to work in the yard. Dress appropriately. If you tell me, Kai, I'm taking you to the beach, well, I'm going to wear my beach wear. I'm not going to be in high heel shoes. I'm not wearing high heels. You said, Kai, we're going to the park. I'm not going to be in heels. You best believe I'm going to be in tennis shoes, and I'm bringing the hula hoop and the frisbee. Might even bring the football. I'm going to have on a t-shirt and some shorts, and I might have a skirt on, depending. A casual skirt, though. Very casual skirt. May have my tennis shoes on. Don't show up for A, dressed like Z. That doesn't, not Sully's Z, the letter Z. Anyway, so we have to be allowed to be ourselves. And by be allowed, I don't mean that other person has to allow us to be ourselves. We have to allow ourselves to be ourselves in our relationships. With our friends, if you cannot be yourself in your relationship with your friend, that is not a friend. That's just somebody you know. If you are not comfortable being Charmin around Karen, Karen is not your friend. If you are not comfortable being Tony, let me take that back, because sometimes I got to tone Tony down like, dude, remember who you talking to. You're nasty. I don't want to hear all that stuff. Sometimes you got to tone your friends down too, like, dog, that we ain't friends like that. I love you, Tony. You have to be comfortable being yourself. Don't lose yourself in your relationships. Understand that your relationship is stronger when you are yourself in your relationship. What did Khalil Gibran say? Well, something, and I don't read it. I don't have it pulled up, but y'all heard me. Don't let your relationship be a bond. Let it be like the sea between two souls, beating up against the shores of two souls. Let it move in between the two of you. Let it not bind you together, but let it move between the two of you. Right? You have to be Tobiah. Tobiah, why can't I think of your wife's name? Tell me your wife's name. I can't think of it. I can't use you as an example if I can't think of her name. Dang it, I don't know why I can't think of her name. Anyway. Charmin. Yeah, well, now I can't think of my brother-in-law's name either. Okay, never mind. We're going to get off the examples because I can't think of anybody's name. And don't tell my brother-in-law I couldn't think of his name, please. Dang it, why can't I think of his name? It has to flow like water. It has to flow like water. Water is a strong and powerful. Deborah. Why couldn't I think of Deborah? Oh my God. The strength of your relationship with Deborah, and I'm just gonna claim this. If it's true, it's true. If it's not, it's not. But that's how I see it. The strength of the relationship between you and Deborah is that she is Deborah and you are Tobiah. And you are not trying to be Deborah, and she is not trying to be Tobiah. You respect her. Terry, damn it, right. Why couldn't I think of Terry or Deborah? That's the strength of the relationship. And when you guys are in these strong relationships, when you guys stay true to who you are modeling the strength and fortitude of a good relationship for those around you. When someone says, wait, you can do that? What about Deborah? She doesn't like that. And you say, okay, but Deborah doesn't like it, but I do. Deborah does Deborah and I do me. You let somebody else who's maybe struggling with the relationship, struggling with how to connect, struggling with understanding that they are allowed to be an individual, even in their relationship, they are allowed to be an individual. You help them to understand that. When Charmin does Charmin and Terry does Terry, I get confused because I'm like, look, yeah, I struggle with that, you guys. I personally struggle with that kind of crazy. Terry does his crazy and Charmin does her crazy, and somehow their crazies are not the same, and somehow they're still this wonderful, loving couple. I need to learn that. So I need, and everybody else needs, those. Oh, and Janice. I forgot Janice was at the table. I asked Janice the other day, do you guys even argue? Her and her husband. Now, I could think of David's name. That's messed up. I mean, it's not messed up, but I can think of his name, but I can't think of Deborah and Terry. That's messed up. I asked her the other day, I'm on the phone with my friend Janice, and I'm like, okay, so just honestly, do you guys even argue? Ever? I've known Janice for several years now. I don't even know how many, but several years now. And I've never, ever, ever witnessed anything but love between the two of them. Calm. And it's not even that I'm supposed to witness an argument. I'm not. I should never witness your argument, right? But just their personalities are so different from mine. Like mine is all over the place, wired up all the time. And Janice is just like, Janice is mellow. Janice has a super mellow personality. And David has a super mellow personality. So how do two super mellow people argue? And then she gave me an example of their argument. I'm on the other line, like y'all know that ain't an argument. The two of them had me on speakerphone talking about their argument. That wasn't an argument. People, that's a disagreement. And if that's the worst of you arguing, that's what I need to learn to do. I need to argue like that because my arguments are arguments. Okay? Yeah. And there's some of us that need to see. We need to have that modeled for us. That ability to be yourself in the relationship, you model it for your kids. You model it for your friends. The people around you who support your love relationship can learn from your love relationship. We're all about sharing. Mellow people don't yell, they whisper, yeah, yes. And maybe it's scary when they whisper. But I can't imagine these two mellow characters ever having a real argument. Slamming doors. Well, I don't slam doors. No, slamming doors, that's not okay. I might raise my voice, but I'm not slamming doors. And and you still date each other. That's important. That's important. We are, when my prospective friend said, talk about divorce, and I was like, don't talk about divorce. We talk about love. We're uplifting love at this table. We're not. But the reality is that we don't have enough solid relationships modeled for us in our communities. Divorce rates are high. Right now, people are struggling more than usual because now they're stuck in the house with each other. They're stuck around each other without all of the external outlets. It's good to see. It's good as a single person when I'm around a married couple. I'm sucking it all in. I've been married. My marriage didn't work, but I'm sucking it in. I'm seeing how relationships work. I'm seeing how healthy relationships work. I'm seeing that possibly sometimes I don't need to get so heated because you don't agree with me. Don't agree with me. It's fine. I watched my cousin Aisha and her husband, and I've watched how they recovered. They've argued in front of me, but I've watched how they've recovered from an argument. Chelsea says no divorce. I'm trying to get a ring on my finger. Don't want to think of divorce before I'm even married. Yeah, we're not going to talk about divorce. We can talk about how to build strong relationships. And if we are talking about building strong relationships, then we are really talking about not ending in divorce, right? We are building up our community here at this table. We are building up our love relationships. We're building up our friendships. We're building up ourselves, our love of ourselves, our friendship with ourselves. We're building all of that up at this table. So as much as we talk about everything, I want us to make sure that we're always uplifting. Even when we're dealing with negative things, we're coming up with, okay, how we might come to the table and say, well, how is it that we deal with this? How? You know, we have the questions time. When we're struggling, we have those questions. Tobiah, it better happen soon because she's been with that man for 4 years. It's time. Are we going to have to cut him loose? He got 1 more year. That's it. My baby ain't wasting her time. I'm trying to be a grandma at some point when I can still run around with my grandbabies. Prospective friend, God, come clean and admit it's someone you're feeling romantic. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. That's like calling a roach a friendly little insect. No. When I say prospective friend, Steve, when I say prospective friend, I mean I'm meeting lots of people and I don't call people a friend lightly. This person may end up being a friend or may just end up being somebody that I know, may just end up being an acquaintance. So I can't claim this person as my friend because I don't call everybody a friend. So that's what I mean. It's not romantic or anything. It's just a prospective friend. That's where we are going to leave that. And if this person ever becomes a friend, then I will say my friend. Charmin says, when you get that heated, you need a friend or a sister to vent with that will not bring it back to you. If you have not one, then go in the closet and talk to God. We did say we need people need to be other people's piglets. Replying to Chelsea Tobiah Carter, thanks. I was only kidding. I'm in a committed 4-year relationship. We're talking about it. Tobiah, nah, your son. I like your son. So look, I'm just saying. If her boyfriend doesn't get it together, we about to be setting your son up. We're going to all be in the family. We're gonna all be in the family. I can have your son in a minute as a son-in-law. That's right. And I'll have big old tall kids too, grandkids. That would be a beautiful bond. So Chelsea, you better tell that boy he better get it together because your mama and Tobiah, your mama and your uncle are matchmaking. Wait, no, Tobiah, you can't be the uncle if it's gonna be your son. Sorry, your mama and an elder in the community are matchmaking. Anyway, all right, guys. So that's what I want us to think about today. Just I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Being solid with myself, and I feel really good about being solid with myself in the conversation, although it's not a conversation about divorce, the conversation about anti-divorce, about loving yourself, remaining yourself in a relationship so that you can be there for the other people, right? I had to tell this person who's only come to the table once, and I don't think he's here today, but he's come to the table once. So I was like, well, you can come to the table, but be prepared to be called out. Be prepared to be called out because we don't hold our tongue at this table. We talk about everything and nobody is safe. You're all safe, but nobody is safe. This is the best kind of safety you could ever have, though, because anything that we call you to the carpet on, we're doing out of love, out of concern, out of genuine love and concern for you. I can honestly say that about this community that we have built with this tea time table. Everybody that is at the table right now, and even people who come in and out, they feel the love, they appreciate the love, and we have it to give. And we have maintained an absolutely respectful environment here where we can all come and be ourselves. I'm having conversations with my dang child at my tea time table. Everybody is welcome. Family, everybody, you come to this table, you are family. That's just what you are, period. And we're going to act like that. So we call our brothers and sisters out. And after we call them out, we help them correct themselves. And then we call them out when they're refusing to help and still not correcting themselves. And then we continue to show you love without judgment, right? That's what we need. And that's what you'll continue to have as you come to this table. I love you guys for being here every day. It lifts me to come and have these conversations. I wake up in the morning sometimes like, I don't know. I think I'm done. And then I come to the table and I'm like, I ain't done. I'm not done, y'all. I can't be done with you. You fill me. You fill my cup up. You fill my cup up and force me to drink when I swear I'm not thirsty. And you're like, Kai, you may not be thirsty, but heifer, you dehydrated. Drink. Don't let your soul get dehydrated. Don't let your soul get dehydrated. Keep pouring into your own cup. Keep letting people pour into your cup. Keep accepting the love. Don't push it away. And don't try to become somebody else. I'm going to drink from my cup and you drink from your cup. And we're going to sit at the table together, each drinking from our own cup, but pouring into each other's cups. We're going to share bread, but we don't have to share the same loaf. Isn't that what Khalil Gibran said? We don't have to eat from the same loaf. Maybe you want wheat bread and I want white bread. I don't eat white bread. Maybe you want wheat bread and I want Hawaiian bread. We don't have to eat from the same loaf. We don't have to drink from the same cup. And I'm not sharing your bank account. You manage your own money. I'm going to manage mine. And then we can have a joint that we both put into. You ain't spending my money. Don't ask me about how I spend my money. I ain't going to ask you about how you spend yours. You don't ask me about how I spend mine. I can have mine even though I'm with you. And you can have yours even though you're with me. Right? Don't lose yourself because you, exactly how you are, exactly who you are perfect. You are special. You're the only one. Yes, I'm going to bring out Barney. You're the only one like you. There isn't another in the whole wide world that can do the things you do because you are special, special. Everyone is special. Everyone in his or her own way. Yeah, okay. I'm going to go. Anyway, guys, thank you for coming to the table with me today. Thank you for loving me. I'm going to continue to love you. Have a wonderful, glorious day. Charmin, get some sleep. Chelsea, get up and go get some exercise. Tobiah, get to the beach. Tony, get out on the road. Denise, get your knitting done. Bernadette, get Kennedy out the house. Go to the flower place. What's it called? Botanical Gardens. Go appreciate some gardening. Hold on, I'm trying to see who else is on. Steve, I don't know what you need to do. Go take a shower. Steve, go take a shower. I know, I stopped with the Hawaiian bread. No more Hawaiian bread. We ate it up. It's all done. Who else is on my feed? Who did I miss? I missed somebody. T, go relax. You need to relax, T. Go get some relaxation on. Go get your feet rubbed. T, tell Stace to rub your feet. That's what you need. Jana, get those boys out to Samuel P. Taylor Park. Go have a great day at Samuel P. Taylor Park. You guys have a wonderful day. I'm about to go pick up my car. I'm not going to walk to get it, though. I walked home. It's hot outside now. I'm going to get a ride to go get it. Have a wonderful day. I will see you here tomorrow, 12 my time, 9 and 11. All right? See you here. Wash your hands. Wear your mask. Keep your distance. Stay safe.